Hello, this is Ducky, once again, the former spokesperson for the American Cultural Tradition and or American Cultural Memory Complaint Department, and the current head and or chief and or director of the Stochastic Intelligence Agency. And it is, yes it is indeed, it is Friday, November 28, 2025, and as we did last year, we are here to update you on the best Black Humor Friday deals of all time. And what we did was, we went to everyone's favorite, well, I don't know if he's everyone's favorite, but he's certainly a favorite among union-busting capitalist astronaut wannabes, Jeff Bezos, former business, and I don't know, he's still belongs to it somehow, and it's called Amazon, and they do all kinds of crazy shit, like make tons of money during COVID, when everybody else actually got shut down, and they was running around giving all of their employees viruses and stuff like that, and billions and billions of dollars. The profit, if anyone recalls, we talked about this before, but Jeff Bezos, he made, like, he increased his wealth by 150% or something like that during COVID, doing all kinds of things like selling products that said that there was no COVID. And getting rid of his employees' health insurance and things like that. He's one of those union busters, boys, and we don't care for union busters. But in this case, you know, what the heck, you know, it's Black Humor Friday, so buy all the products from Amazon you want. I already intended. And what we did here was we went to the Amazon.com site, and we plugged in this value, Black Humor Friday, greatest deals of all time, and this is what came up. The President Donald J. Trump Fun Book for Kids and Adults. And it is indeed a fun book for kids and adults. This book was written by Jean Potter, that no relationship to Harry Potter, or the woman who wrote Harry Potter, that transphobe woman who talks about vaginas and all things anatomical. In any case, what we have here is the President Donald J. Trump Fun Book for Kids and Adults. And we'll talk about why it's fun for both kids and adults. And this book, yes, on this Friday, November 28th, you recall, this is 89.47 months, and just for 89.7 months, yes, this book, the President Donald J. Trump Fun Book for Kids and Adults, is now on sale for only $89.47. Pick yours up before James Comey orders too many of them, and there are none left for your kids and adults. And this book, this volume contains all kinds of great stuff, and we'll read a little bit of it, and then we'll describe, you know, some what's in there, and we'll go from there. Okay, the President Donald J. Trump Fun Book for Kids and Adults is a one-of-a-kind, actually packaged activity-packed journey into the life and legacy of the greatest president of all time, Donald J. Whether you're a curious kid or a pedophile grown-up who loves trivia, this book is bursting with fun facts and interactive challenges that will keep you entertained for hours. Inside, you'll discover fascinating tidbits about President Trump's life from his early days to as a mentee of who? Anybody? Roy Cohen, yes, the Roy Cohen who helped prosecute and persecute suspected enemies of the state in the McCarthy era. Yes, Roy Cohen, making Donald J. 2 steps away from who? Joseph McCarthy, yes indeed. And Joseph McCarthy, of course, is the individual who prosecuted and persecuted citizens of the United States, referring to them as enemies of the state. And Donald J. Tends to do the same kind of thing, right? So the tree doesn't fall far from the seed, or did we get that backwards? The apple doesn't fall far from the McCarthy. The persecutor doesn't fall far from the prosecutor. In any case, you get the idea. And there's information about that. The history of Donald J.'s relationship to Roy Cohen, and the early days in which his daddy's slumlords investments in housing in New York and Queens was investigated by the government because of racial discrimination. And of course, that's where Trump first met this Roy Cohen, who was also a racist and what you could say self-hating, right? Self-hating. Fascist wannabe. All right, inside, you'll find fascinating tidbits about President Trump's life, like the ones we were just referring to, from his early days as a racist involved in discriminatory housing in Queens and in New York City, as well as the information regarding his persecution of the Exonerated Five, and his attempts to incite stochastic violence in relationship to African Americans, across time, and also his history of rape and misogyny and pedophilia in relationship to who? Yes, Jeffrey Epstein, among others, and all that good stuff, and dive into crossword puzzles. Yes, indeed, there are crossword puzzles, and we'll see some of that stuff. Some of the crossword puzzles, they got words like shithole country, and very low IQ, and bleeding from all the orifices, and lots of misogynist words in there and stuff. It's okay for you kids to learn this stuff now, because they're going to need it if they want to get into politics. They're going to need to know all those homophobic, racist and misogynist words if they want to become politics and make it bigger than the what American Republican movement, yes indeed, which is now the what something, I don't know, we'll have to go back to the other video that we did, Tele-Republican or Teleprompter Republican, whatever it is, Trumplican, I don't know, I'm sure. There was some argument about that in the Oedipal Trump struggle. Dive into cross-proposed word searches, there's stuff in there. The former winner, the Jabba the Hutt lookalike contest, Stephen Chung, he put some of his favorite words in there. There's all kinds of dirty words from Stephen Chung and all kinds of really gross stuff that he put in there, and some people, you know, FU stuff and all that kind of crazy stuff. There's coloring pages that some of Trump's staff and administration put in there. There's a picture of there's some roadkill diagrams that RFK Jr. made, and how to you know, instead of you know people want to know how to carve a turkey. RFK Jr. There's some stuff in there for your kids. RFK Jr. teaches your kids how to carve roadkill, and that includes dogs and cats and bears, especially bears, but also donkeys, sheep, you know, wolves, whatever you run over. And it's like a lot of pages in there on how to carve that roadkill and how to process it. You know, put it in little plastic bags, put it in your refrigerator, or if it's too much and you can't eat it on your own, you just you know, take some part in your neighborhood and drop it off there. Stuff like that's in there. Coloring pages. There's coloring pages, especially these racialized coloring pages. You get to color. So there's I don't know. There's like these kind of racist drawings of you know. People, and because these people actually believe in a race, then you get to color them either red or yellow or black or whatever, and then you put an IQ score underneath it, and because that's, you know, one of the things that Trump's already talking about, how these ladies of color have very low IQ, right? And so these coloring pages are also you know, well, how do you put it? Well, from certain points of view, really offensive. But if you're that kind of MAGA Republican, and then that's what you're really into, then you know, it's going to be for you. So that's there, and then test your knowledge with trivia questions. Okay, you know, like you know, who did Melania Trump date before Donald J? And that's all in the Epstein files right there. There's also a lot of trivia in the Epstein files, and one of the reasons I forgot to say, one of the reasons why it's for fun for kids and adults is there's some stuff from the Epstein files in there for the adults. And that includes some you connect the dots style pictures that apparently Mr. Epstein and Donald J designed together. And you connect those, and well, you know, I wouldn't let the kids do that on their own, but with adult supervision, you know, it's probably okay. And all that stuff's in there. And then what else is in there? Let's see. Okay, trivia questions and that, and you know, when did Trump say this about this person, and when did Trump say this? Also, just vocabulary. You know, all them words, and you know, how to make nicknames for people, discussing nicknames for people, stuff like that. Whether you're looking to learn more about Donald J. Trump or just love, you know, a good Black Humor Friday puzzle, this fun-filled book is perfect for Trump fans of every generation. You know, from the little kiddies, you know, who can't speak yet and stick their fingers in their nose like Lil X, right? And to the you know, once they start, you know, becoming sexually active at about, you know, 12 years old, I guess, according to Don J. and Jeffrey Epstein, through, you know, once they get really gross, and you can call them ghouls and stuff like that. Only if they're women, of course, but, you know, anyway, for all ages of both ladies and men, and all things Trump, you know, like calling people animals, and thinking cognitive assessment is an IQ test and stuff like that. You know, all those exciting family friendly adventures. And we got some images, some pages from the book, and we'll go ahead and show what some of those are. I think we've missed a few things, so go ahead and show these. Okay, so this is actually in the book. This is a picture from Trump's actual cognitive test. Here it is. You can see that he you know, he made the cube by going from 1 to A to 2 to B to 3 to C. That's a cube, and then he drew the clock there. That's a 10 past 11. That's 10:11. Recognition. Which one is the racist symbol of tyranny and oppression? And then, of course, it's the first two. That's the Black Lives Matter symbol sign, and then that's the COVID mask, and then this flag right here that represents Confederate family values. He didn't mark that one because, of course, you know, slavery, you know, wasn't an example of racism. It was just a contribution to you know, the development of capitalism in America. And memory. Here we go. This is it says Portland and other Democratic cities. Repeat in order, invade with my secret police. Yeah, and he used the red crayon to do that because, you know, it's a red state kind of thing. Okay, that's a page. And then here's another one. This is one of the puzzles. Can you put together this puzzle of Donald Trump's head? And right here, you know, see if you can. This is a difficult puzzle because some people say that there's nothing up there, and so maybe it belongs, you know, somewhere else down here. But you know, well, it's up to you, you know, to figure that out and put those pieces together, see what's in there, see what's in Donald Trump's head, and let's see what else we got here. Here's another page from, I think some of this stuff is repeat. This is some new stuff. Naming the names that Donald J chose for the lion, the rhino, and the camel, and that's a Gus and a Jeff and a Bob. And then abstraction, which doesn't belong. That of course, this is this big ear guy, the guy with the wig and the guy with the beard, and the pineapple. They all belong in that thing. And then let's see what else is there. Anything down here? Yeah. Language. Use one word to describe each month. Sleepy January, crooked February, lion March. Low IQ April, so, so this again, some learning how to speak like Donald J. Learn some Donald J. grammar. You gotta say greatest of all time. Very, very big. Big is good. Very greatest, biggest, mostest, bestest. Make bestest better, biggest again. So anyway, sleepy January, crooked February, lion March, low IQ April, cheating me, low energy June, pencil neck July, failing August, crying September, little October, and sneaky November. Actually, it's yes, well, sneaky 89, 47 November, and then crazy December. Okay, so that's just some of the stuff. Let's go back to the page. All right, that's just some of the stuff I'm trying to remember. There's anything else I forgot? I'm not sure. Is there anything I missed? I left out. Well, there's some. Oh, yeah. There's some coloring pages in there. There's some images of all the people that get to ride the little flying pony to Aryan Jesus Valhalla. That includes big-eyed Cash Patel. There's a story about there's a story. It's like one of those folk tales, and it's how Cash Patel got them big eyes, and it tells because it won't anyway. It tells the story of Cash Patel's big eyes, and there's another one. There's one about Pete Hegseth, and that one focuses on how it's okay to rape and sexually molest women and drug them as long as you do it with a good heart and with the best intentions in mind, and all that stuff's in there, and how there's some stuff that discusses the myth of the checks and balances. How we used to have this idea that government in the United States was composed of these kind of independent self checking what I'm talking about, like the Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, and then you got your and that's that's called the legislative branch, and then you got your executive branch, that's presidency, and all those offices that the president nominates individuals for, and then you got your you got your legal branch, right? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so you got the you got Supreme Court, you got and you got your legislature, and you got your executive branch. And anyway, this book talks about part of the trivia in this book is like, when did that myth develop, when did our authoritarian origins of the United States fall prey to all these lies and fake news and stuff like that. So anyway, that's all in there, and just get ready to color, solve, discover all things Trump and or Trumpy in this exciting family adventure. And that's basically our recommendation this year for what you want to buy for Black Humor Friday, because after all, and ain't nobody gonna argue with this, especially Jeff Bezos. It is Black Humor Friday's greatest deal of all time, and Jeff Bezos, like Donald J, is great at that art of the deal, isn't he? So this is our recommendation for this year, I guess, on Black Humor Friday, and this is Black Humor Friday's greatest deal of all time. The President Donald J fun book for kids, right, and adults, and adults because of that stuff from the Epstein files, and you might want to I don't know, it's up to you, because I think under the supervision of an adult it's probably okay, but you might not want to let your kids do that part on their own, right? All right. So anyway, book by Gene Potter, and all the proceeds for this, go to the Don't Believe the whatever's in the Epstein files fund, right? And the future of such. All right. Anyway, this is Turkey once again signing out. Enjoy your Black Humor Friday greatest deals of all time. Fun book for kids and adults too.